Hi everyone, in this video we'll be looking at operations. In the last video we looked at variables, and in the one before that we saw data types. Now here we'll try to combine variables and data types and see how we can use them in operations. Now to properly understand operations, we'll define a few times here. We have the operands and the operators. Now, let me put a sample operation here from our variable class. Remember we had x plus y. So to make that properly work, I'll do the same thing I did in the last class, in the last video. Int x equals 10 and final y, final int y equals 3. Now we have x plus y. Now here, what we have in terms of operation, because all three things we have here are actually operations. So we have int x being initialized to a value of 10. Now the operation that's happening here is the assignment operation. So the operator here will have is an assignment operator. So assignment operator. So we have the assignment operator, which is the, I'll still use the comments, which is the equality sign. Now, next we'll still see the assignment operator. So what the assignment operator does is it tells the value on the left or the name on the left to hold the value on the right. So what we are doing here, we are assigning 3 to y. We're assigning 10 to x. Now, on line 8, we have x plus y. Now, plus sign here is the operator. So we have another operator here, the plus sign. And we have x on the left and y on the right. So x and y are operands. Y and 10, x and 10 are operands. So the values you are performing operations on are referred to as operands. So I put this separate from the assignment operators because we have other assignment operators and we'll look at them shortly. So this operator here is referred to as an arithmetic operator. So the plus sign is an arithmetic operator, and we can think of others. So subtraction, division, which is also, we also use the forward slash for division. So a single forward slash is for division. And we have the multiplication. So those are the 4 basic arithmetic operators. Now, on the assignment operators, we have the equal sign, which is saying we're assigning the value on the right to the name on the left. We also have the plus equals assignment operator. So what this means is we're saying add the value on the right to the value in the name on the left. To explain the plus equals operator, we already have x equal 10 at the top. So we can now say x plus equals 3. And what we're saying now is take the value of x, add 3 to it, then assign the result back to x. That means the new value of x should be 13. So let's try to print out and confirm that the value of x is truly 13. Now you can see that at the top here, the value is 10. And when we did the plus equals operator here, we got the value to be 13. So besides the plus equals, we also have the minus equal operator. Now, what this does is takes the value on the right, subtract it from the value in the container on the left, and then assign the results into the same container. So let's try doing the same with x again. So x minus equal 3. And we're still trying to print the value again. The out the println x. So from how we explained the first one, that means we take 3 from the current value of x, which is 13, then assign the result to x. So we should get back to 10. But let's see the result. Okay, there's a syntax error here. I did println instead of println. So you can see that the value is back to 10. So the other two assignment operators that we have is divide by equal to, which will divide the value in the container by the value on the right, and then assign the result to the value on the left. So we have x equals 5. So we're going to print this value out the println value of x. And finally, we have the multiplication equal to. So we're still going to repeat this with 5. And we should get back to 10. So this will divide the current value of x, which is 10, by 5, and put the result into x. So the new value of x becomes the result of 10 divided by 5. And here we're taking the current value of x and we're multiplying it by 5, which will mean that we're taking the current value 2 and multiplying it by 5, and the new value of x should be 10. So system.out.println x. So that means here we should have 2 and here we should have 10. So let's run and see the results. So I'll go ahead to give some examples here, even if we've seen them in the last class, but let's still look at them here. So for the purpose of this, I have an integer value z. So I'll take away this initialization and just have z. So we'll say z equals x plus y. So I'll just copy from here, Control C on Windows and Command C on Mac, and then I'll paste it here, print the value of z. Now on the next line, I'll do z equals x minus y. I'll paste here again and swap out x for z. So for division, I'll do z equals x divided by y. I'll print out the value here of z. Now I'll do system z equals x multiplied by y. I'll print out this, swap out z. Okay, so just like in the last class, the results are nearly identical, except for the division. So 10 divided by 3 is not exactly 3. But when you're dividing a whole number or an integer by another integer, even if the result is supposed to be a fraction, since the resultant or the container we're trying to put the value in integer, and since the container is an integer, the value on the left and the value on the right are also integers. The result will also be an integer value. Hence, the fractional part being completely ignored, and then we have 3 printed. Okay. Now let's look at other types of operators that we have. So we have the comparison operators. So these operators help us compare two values. So you have a value on the right and you're comparing it to the value on the left. The result of using these operators always results in a Boolean value. So let's declare a variable of type Boolean and call it C. This variable that we have up there is what we'll be using as a container for comparison of the operators. So what are the operators for comparison? So we can check equality. So to check if the value on the right is equal to the value on the left, we use double equal to sign. If you use a single equal to, what you're doing is trying to assign a value. So to check equality, you need to use two equal to's. So let's say C equals X equal Y. So we're trying to see if 10 is equal to 3. So we're going to try to print the results and see whether 10 is equal to 3. Now, another comparison operator that we have is the less than operator. Now, let's try to see if C equals X less than Y. So we're trying to see if X is less than Y. So we're going to print the result here again for C. Now, since C is a variable, we can keep altering the value as we move along. Another operator is to see if the value on the left is less than or equal to the value on the right. So this checks if the value on the left is less than or if it's equal to the value on the right. So we have C equals X less than or equal to Y. Now we'll print this for C. Another operator we'll get to see is the greater than operator. So we'll check if X is greater than Y. So we'll print the result of that. So this checks if the value on the left is greater than the value on the right. We have the greater than or equal to operator. So this checks if the value on the left is greater than or at least equal to the value on the right. So C equals X greater than or equal to Y. So print the value again for C. Yeah, so the final comparison operator that we'll be looking at is the not equal to comparison operator. So it checks if the value on the left is not equal to the value on the right. So we have X not equal to Y. Like I said, the result of all comparison operators is a Boolean. So let's run and see what we will get. Our major focus is the comparison operator part. Okay, so we can see that for our first operation, checking for equality, it returns a false because 10 is not equal to 3. The second one also returns a false because 10 is not less than 3. Now the third one also returns a false because 10 is not less than 3 and 10 is not equal to 3. Now on the other hand, when we checked if 10 is greater than 3, we got a true because 10 is greater than 3. When we checked if 10 is greater than or equal to 3, we still got true because 10 is greater than 3. Now, the final one where we checked if 10 is not equal to 3, we got a true. We can see all the cases of the comparison operators returned Boolean values. Now, the last operator type, even if we will not be looking at them in details or giving examples, are the logical operators. Now, these ones there are three basic types of logical operators. We have the AND operator, so AND operator, the OR operator, and the NOT operator. I think we've seen this here. We applied the NOT operator here. So when you see an exclamation mark, that's a NOT operator. Then we have the double pipe, which is the OR. So you're checking. So in theory, what the OR operator does is it checks if a condition on the right-hand side is valid or if the condition on the left-hand side is valid. Now we use the AND operator. That means both the condition on the left and the condition on the right must be valid to get a true result. So both logical and comparison operators both return back Boolean values as the result of using them in operations. And with that, we've come to the end of the operations class.